Hey, Mark the Guitar Guy here. We're going to be talking about the five mistakes that most new guitar players have that they make. And I come across this all the time when I'm doing my guitar lessons, and it's one of those things I thought, let's do a video especially on that, because YouTube loves those ones where you've got a number like 5 and you've got a whole bunch of things written after it. So let's do the 5 common mistakes that new guitarists come across. So, or at least they're not even aware of. And the number one thing, the very, very first thing is actually, when people come to me for lessons, is the guitar setup. So what do I mean by that? I mean that often they'll come to me with a guitar that's almost unplayable. Like I'll grab it off them and have a play, and there's all sorts of issues going on with that guitar. Meaning the strings are way off the guitar neck, maybe the guitar's come straight from the shop and it hasn't been adjusted from the factory, and the neck, meaning this is the neck, has a bow in it, which means that it's not quite in line. Then it needs to be set up so it's easy to play. Now the difference between a guitar that's been set up and is awesome to play compared to one that's not is amazing. It's like driving a car and you have power steering and one doesn't have power steering. The difference is so huge. You'd rather have the one that's comfortable and easy to play. So that's what you want with a guitar. It needs to be easy to play. It needs to be fun to play. It needs to be less painful. Now there is pain when you play guitar initially anyway. It is uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful and it shouldn't be completely difficult. So make sure your guitar's set up. The best way to do that is take it to either a guitar player that's very, very experienced, or take it to even better, the shop that you either bought it from, or take it to a nearby music store and say, please, can you make my guitar easy to play for me? And they might need to restring it, they might need to do a few adjustments. It usually doesn't take too long. There's a thing called a truss rod that goes through the neck of the guitar, and they can adjust that for you, make the guitar neck nice and straight, and they can optimize that guitar to be the best for your playing, okay? So that's the very first mistake, is usually the guitar just needs a little bit of setup. So often I'll grab the guitar and give the guitar a little setup so it's easy to play and hand them over, and they'll be like, oh, this is way better. This is a totally different guitar. So that's the number one thing. The number two thing is giving up on the pick. The amount of people that I know that give up on this little bad boy here on how to play the guitar because they don't know how to hold one of these. Now I'm not going to go into huge detail about this, but I'm going to explain why this is important. A lot of people just go, oh, I just want to play with my fingers. I don't like the pick. No. The problem is they probably have got a pick that's really horrible to start with. So get one that's nice and grippy. Go and check out my how to hold a pick guitar video on YouTube. Check it out because it shows you in detail how to hold a pick. Thumb across in the middle of the pick. The pick is pointing down this way. It's not pointing this way, which is most people think when they hold a pick. They hold it like a pen or a pencil, and they point their whole, it's just weird when they hold a pick. Go and check out that video, it'll show you how to do that. I'm not going to do that here, but you can go and check that video out and it will change your guitar playing. And hey look, try it for 6 months and with even a month. If you don't like it after a month, throw the thing away and just go back to fingers. It won't hinder your playing with the fingers, but you're better off just being able to play with a pick. The amount of times people have actually gone, I give up, okay, I'm going to learn. And after 3 months, 6 months of learning, and I've actually gone, oh, finally you're learning to play with a pick. So that's another thing. So that's the second thing. Okay, the third thing. The third thing is what I'm really, really famous for on YouTube, and that is my strumming. It's the tick-tock method. Tick-tock is this pendulum right-hand strumming patterns technique thing. Now, if you don't have a strong tick-tock pattern, you are going to struggle. Bottom line, you are going to struggle having perfect timing, having great rhythms, being able to play any song, because that right-hand technique is so important. And if you think your tick-tock technique is good, still go back and check out my video on tick-tocking so you can get that technique down, because you could be missing one fundamental thing that's causing your strumming patterns to sound odd or causing your timing to be out. The amount of guitar players that have been playing for years that come to me, they don't even know how to strum a guitar. It is ridiculous. ridiculous and it's horrible. I'm going to jam with them and I'm laying down this cool rhythm and everything's going fine, and then it's my turn to play a solo and their rhythm is shocking, and it's just hard to gel with another musician, if they don't have good tick-tock. And it all comes back to that. It really does. If you can tick-tock well, you can do any strum and you'll be fine. Even if you're really average, but you've got a good strong tick-tock, you will be amazing. You will sound so much better and it'll be so much more fun to jam with. So that's tick-tock, and it even counts for guitar soloing. It really is awesome to have a good tick-tock technique. So that's the third thing. Fourth thing is worrying about perfect sound. What I mean by that is when someone's playing a chord or learning a chord for the first time or learning some chords, we get basically the people that are starting out get so concerned about the sound of that chord, and they want the sound to be perfect before they move on. And this is a critical mistake, because you will never move on. You will just continuously be going like, oh, okay, I want to learn C, but it'll sound like this. And they'll be like, oh, I've got to get right. Oh, hang on, hang on. Oh, 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 hang on. Etc. It's the most frustrating thing in the world, because it's not sounding perfect, and they've got that one string that, oh, it's not quite perfect. Seriously, guys, don't even worry about the sound. Just strum the hell out of that awful chord you've got, and each time you come around to the chord, it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So that's what you need to not worry about, is what the sound of your chords are. Obviously, if you're playing a completely disastrous chord and it's nothing like the C chord and you're learning, it's like, and that's your chord, maybe have a look at it, but it needs to sound roughly like a chord, and that's enough. Eventually the sound will come right. It's not like a wind instrument or something where the first thing we need to worry about is the sound. With the guitar, eventually your fingers will harden up, the tips will harden up, your technique will become more focused, and your chord will become more pronounced and perfect as time goes on. Even I don't have perfect chords sometimes when I go through a song. It's not every single time that I do perfect chords. As long as you've got enough strings playing right, you'll be fine. So that's that, which brings us on to the last point, the fifth point. Now that is to do with what we just kind of talked about, and it's to do with judging too much. Judging too much is a big error with guitar players or with musicians or with anyone. When we're learning something new, we're constantly going, I'm useless, I'm no good, I can't believe I haven't got this yet, this is terrible, I'm the worst student in the world. This is the self-talk going on. It's this judgment, like we did for the C chord. It's like, oh, that sounds awful, oh, that sounds awful, oh, that sounds awful, oh, that sounds awful, oh, that sounds... You are not going to get good if you feel horrible. You're just not going to get good. You have to feel good to get good. You really have to. That's a good little phrase. I might coin that phrase. That's a very good phrase. You have to feel good to get good. I like that. I'm going to get a t-shirt with that written on it. So you do, but if you feel awful or insecure or anything when you're playing, you're not going to get better. You are just not. It's just the bottom line. You've got to take away that stress and that judgment and just allow yourself to go through the motions like you're watching someone else playing, going through the motions of playing guitar. And then eventually you'll start to enjoy that, and you'll start to see a lot of improvements because you've taken away the judgment. When you take away the judgment, you're able to just push through that horrible chord that you might have done the third time through, or every time I come up to the bar chord F, I really struggle. Just try and push through those things, because they are going to be problems. You are going to have places in your playing that aren't perfect. That's completely okay, because eventually they will get better and better. But that judgment of thinking, is this good, is this good, is this good? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, that's horrible, that could be better. You're missing out on all the beautiful stuff you're doing. You're missing out on all the awesome things you're doing. And you'll never, ever get over that hump. So you've just got to push that aside. Now, I'm saying it like it's an easy thing to do. It really isn't an easy thing to do. Judgment, we've all got it. I've still got it when I play. It's going to make you not want to play guitar. But that's the problem. You don't get confidence by judging yourself constantly. It's okay to be self-aware. Okay, I need a few improvements. That's different. Self-awareness, that's totally different to judgment. So get rid of the judgment. So let's go over those 5 things again. The first thing was having bad guitar setup. So make sure your guitar is set up beautifully. The second thing is giving up on holding a pick. We don't want you to give up on holding a pick. Get used to holding a pick properly. Check out that video, nail it. Get it down, become awesome at holding a pick, and if you choose to play any other way, that's totally cool. You can just put it down, but you'll have that skill forever. The third thing is no TikTok. Get that TikTok sorted out, guys. There's no excuse. It's the best thing you can do for your guitar playing, especially if you're a rhythm guitar player. The fourth thing was worrying about a perfect sound when you're playing chords. So push through that if you can, which brings us on to the fifth point, which is judgment. Get rid of that judgment and you will be an amazing guitar player. If you follow these 5 things, you will progress so fast. It will be amazing. And if you really like my style of guitar teaching, then do check out my other videos. Go check out jamorama.com. Get access to all my fundamental lessons in guitar playing so you can get a good, confident, solid foundation in guitar, a lot like what we're talking about today. And please do subscribe and tell your friends. I would love to see you guys soon. So catch you later.